Now, the goal is to have a helmet with plus 1500 armor. We are going to make our base into a magic by grabbing our perfect orb of transmutation, which states that it'll make a normal item into a magic modifier with 1 modifier. So you just grab whatever you grab, and then you pick up a perfect orb of augmentation in order to augment your magic helmet with a new random modifier. And now, before making it rare, we need to make sure that we grab stats that we are looking for. For example, I am looking for a flat armor or a 100 increased armor percentage. That works. However, we do not like accuracy, and therefore we must roll it off and take the risk of rolling that increased armor. From here, we need to grab a suffix that we are able to use. Attribute requirements is not it. Accuracy, leave us alone. Come on, something viable like fire res. Now that we have a base with 2 random modifiers, we can bring it over to our essence stash. From here, you can make this piece rare by adding a different resistance that you may need, like chaos res, or you can also opt out to grab a little bit of increased rarity, and that is exactly what we are going to do. Take this bad boy back to the inventory. In order to grab that 4th modifier, we would need to desecrate a suffix, and in order to do that, we must activate an omen of dextronecromancy, which will tell our desecration to only add suffix modifier. So let's go ahead and activate that and grab our preserved rib in order to lock in that 4th modifier and a suffix, and what we are left with is a fracturable base. So we grab a fracturing orb and just slam it. Now that our base is fractured, we need to try and work those prefixes, and what we are going to try to do is slam a perfect exalted orb, and what we're looking for a prefix is either the tier 1 increased armor or a hybrid with either mana or life. Oh wow, we slammed another rarity in there. In hindsight, we would have been better off probably desecrating the prefix. You would have a lot less RNG to worry about. However, we will be resetting this craft if it does not slam on a tier 1 flat armor. So now we remove it and we just try to tag it again. Remove everything, mana is gone, and we lost our fire. And now we just keep rolling. This is the beauty of... We did not hit what we wanted, and that is the beauty of a fracture. Now we have 100% increased armor, and we are able to start rolling our piece. What we are looking for here is a flat armor, but we need a tier 1 to pair it with our fracture. This is a tier 2, it's very solid, but we need to roll past that because we have a very valuable fractured modifier, and we need to make use of that. The beauty of fracturing is that it allows you to roll something you'd like. For instance, a lot of people like critical hit chance, so what I would do here is activate an omen of greater exaltation so that an exalted orb would add 2 random modifiers, and we will be locking those 2 modifiers to be prefixes by activating an omen of sinistral exaltation, which will tell our exalted orbs to only add prefix modifiers. Now we grab this perfect exalted orb, which I thought I was completely using this whole time, and we pick up a tier 1 armor and life, and now we lost our crit chance, but we retained a tier 1 armor, which is very valuable because now we can desecrate a prefix by activating an omen of sinistral necromancy, which will tell our desecration to only add a prefix. Take it over to Hibanashi, let him see it, let him smell it, let him do whatever he needs to do with it. Bring your piece over to the Well of Souls and reveal. What we are looking for is either hybrid with mana or hybrid with life, but it has to be a tier 1 in order to make use of that tier 1 armor. We were aiming for a tier 1 hybrid and ended up with an increased rarity, which is not bad. The only time rarity on prefix works is when you have the single tier 1 armor percentage and the single flat like we do. So we're gonna keep this rarity and try to slam something useful on the suffixes. Now for the suffixes, it's very RNG, and therefore we are gonna deactivate everything except our omen of greater exaltation, so that when we slam it with our exalted orb, it will add 2 at the same time. We got intelligence and fire resistance. That is awesome. We deactivate the omen of greater exaltation, grab your last perfect exalted orb, and hope to grab something viable. Now, because I personally wanted 1500 armor on this piece, I will be activating an Omen of Light, which states that when active in your inventory, your next Orb of Annulment will remove only desecrated modifiers, and the only one we got is increased rarity, so just grab that Orb of Annulment and remove gravity. Don't forget your Abyssal Echoes, and again, you're looking to grab any hybrid as long as it is a tier 1, and what you're looking for is around 40 increased percent or whatever the tier 1 mana is, and we missed it completely, but we did get life. That is not what we're looking for, so we activate the Omen of Light one more time. We reveal both modifiers that we need, but it is a tier 2 and a tier 3, which would be an injustice to our fractured 100%, so we reroll. We will not settle for mana, so we went and pickpocketed 2 more Omen of Lights from Ant herself to remove that desecration and add yet another one. We are gonna run out of currency on this armor if we do not settle. Wow, that is unfortunate. We are grabbing the hybrid, removing it one last time, desecrating it with the correct preserved rib, and revealing. Rerolling. Bruh. For the 5th time, Omen of Light, remove desecration, grab the correct preserve, come on. Jesus, Hibanashi. I fear for the reroll will not have what we need, and we finally grabbed it. Jesus. After 5 Omen of Lights, we are now sitting with a helmet that has 1600 to armor. However, our tier 1 is badly rolled, so we need to divine this piece in order to re-roll these modifiers to bring that number closer to 1700 so that we can make our currency back for all the Omen of Lights that we just threw at this piece. So we bring it over to the inventory stash. Divine Orb. Before I divine it, keep an eye out on armor 1625. We need this to be as close to 1700 as possible, and we are going to keep an eye out on 173 and 40%, so we want something close to 195 and 39 as we can grab it. So 1709, that is beautiful. Wow, what a serendipitous slam. We now have in our possession a helmet with 1700 armor. So we bring that over to our stash, and we're only trying to grab 25%. Grab a few Val infusers and try to grab at least 25% or 1750 without corrupting it. Now that we have 1750, it's time for the Temple of Corruption. Activate every single Omen of Corruption in your inventory and begin your chant. And that is how you grab your third juicy socket. Show it to Hibanashi, he's interested. Add your last final rune. And what you are left with is an armor piece with 1850. Now that used to be the last step until they introduced the Architect's Orb, which states that it modifies a corrupted equipment or jewel item unpredictably or destroy it. It is essentially a 50-50 chance to either give it something else or completely make it vanish.